A popular local mall that is now a neighbor to the Ross University says it's ready to meet the increased demand for products and services. Sky Mall in Haggett Hall had its first experience with Ross University as the students went through their busy orientation period last week. Since then, students continue to frequent the popular stop for a wide range of goods and services. And as the students continue to settle in and get accustomed to their immediate surroundings, Operations Director for Sky Mall and NSR Limited, Everett Eastman, says they're up to the task.
We are very pleased to be able to accommodate the students. Last week it would have been the orientation week, and therefore there's some large influx of students, particularly between the hours of 11 till 1. And so we made sure that we were able to accommodate them by putting in more seats and so forth in the food court. But remember, it's orientation week, and orienting not just to the university but to, where they should go and shop. So they would have supported the supermarket, a lot of the places that would have sold things for the household, Dollar Wise and Accents and Decor, and of course the places that would sell casual wear as well.
He says going forward, the mall will continue to ensure that it provides for the needs of all of its customers.
We try to accommodate all customers from various segments of the population, and obviously as next door neighbors, we have to be as neighborly as possible in terms of reaching out to them, finding out what their needs are, and being able to satisfy those needs the best way that we can.
Central Bank Governor Clevenson Haynes is convinced Barbados' current economic situation presents several opportunities for writers. He says the story of Barbados' economic recovery transformation program currently being undertaken must be recorded for future generations.
We are restoring fiscal discipline, and we are seeking our ways to boost our earnings from exports of goods and services. We are transforming and modernizing the Barbados economy and society. We are making it easier for everyone to do business and improve the country's competitiveness. We are strengthening our resilience to domestic and external shocks and to climate change. These circumstances offer the potential for enlightening and informative poetry, prose, plays, and films, because they embody the vagaries of life: change, challenges, hurt, conflict, highs and lows, intrigue, sacrifices, and people.
Time now to take a look at how stocks traded on selected exchanges across the region.
Over in Jamaica, Victoria Mutual Investments Limited ordinary shares was the volume leader with 334,162 units. They were followed by Jamaica Broilers Group and Wisynco Group Limited ordinary shares. In Trinidad and Tobago, JMMB Group Limited was the volume leader with 378,037 shares changing hands for a value of $661,564.75. They were followed by National Enterprises Limited and Trinidad and Tobago NGL Limited. And in Barbados, Goddard Enterprises Limited was the volume leader, trading 8,550 shares at $3.74 each. They were followed by First Caribbean International Bank and West India Biscuit Company Limited.
Minding your business with the kind compliments of the Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union Limited, who remind you to save smart and borrow smarter.
There's a guy called Cookie Monster who wants you to say C is for cookie, that's good enough for me.
C is for cookie, that's good enough for me. Yeah, C is for cookie, that's good enough for me.
And now here in Barbados we have Cookie Mommy, who's making cookies for all of us. Now, while cakes are usually the pastry of choice for some entrepreneurs today, Kerry Clark decided to choose a different path after realizing she was especially good at making cookies. She says it all started just over a year ago.
I was really put into it by a best friend. She does cakes, and she said, you know, I've got some ideas to show you. And sometimes, you know, cookies will trickle in with the ideas she would have sent. And I said, well, those look very nice. And they seem pretty easy, that I thought at first. And then I tried them one day, and she said, but your work is good. So then I would take them to work with me, and everybody would have nice things to say about them. And that built my confidence. And then I told my husband one day, well, I need a side job because like the cookies are doing pretty okay. In terms of decorating, I wasn't selling back then. I was just giving them away and for like birthdays for people at work or whatever. And then he said, well, you know, go for it. I'll back you 100%.
And why Cookie Mommy, you may ask?
My best friend is the actual person who did that. She said one day, I'm going to find you a business name. And me having my 2 children, I believe in my 2 children. I live for my 2 children. And this business is basically theirs. Hence the name Cookie Mommy. I like baking cookies and I'm a mommy, so that's where the name came up.
But even as she has started to operate in a society where cakes and bread are often in most demand, Carrie says her special brand of cookies and creative displays have started to create a trend of their own. With a range of flavors limited only by your imagination, Carrie also puts a distinctive spin to her cookie creations, whether it's character themes, cookie bouquets, or the very popular standing 3D cookies. All of them have been a hit.
People are tending to shy away a bit from the traditional cake and the traditional sandwich or whatever, and for a more fancy looking treat table setting. So I would get customers saying, well, my daughter wants a cake, but she would like a cookie cake as opposed to the traditional birthday cake. Or I would like to do a cake, but I think I want to try cookies this time. And you know, I usually get a lot of business with people saying that.
Cookie cake, that's a thing?
Yes, well, I never thought it was a thing, but one day I decided that I wanted to try a bigger cookie, and when I typed it in, it just brought these cookie cakes up, and I was like, there's a cookie cake. So then they were done like in numbers, and there were like 2 layers of cookies with icing in between them, just like the cake. And then there's an actual pan shaped cake. It's flat like a cookie, and you decorate it the same way you would decorate a regular birthday cake.
But on this particular occasion, I was aiming to help out with something a little more simple than the cookie cake. So with Carrie's help, I set about putting my cookie icing skills to the test. I must confess it's tougher than it looks. A steady hand is a must, and it was clear I had a case of the nerves. But with some much needed guidance from Carrie, finally I had iced the cookie. Carrie says since she takes her business very seriously, she dedicates several hours at a time to ensure that each process is completed properly, from the very idea stage to the baking and decoration to the final product. And that's why some special orders can take a couple of days to prepare. She says at present the demand is mostly from people with birthday parties, baby or bridal showers, weddings and anniversaries, and she's aiming to be the very best.
I want it to be a household name. I want when somebody say, well, I want to hold a party, Cookie Mommy is the first person they can think of. Right now, I just do cookies. But yes, I would like to diversify and probably do cupcakes or, you know, cakes and other little treats.
And that's it for this week's edition of Minding Your Business. If you'd like to get in contact with Cookie Mommy Carrie Clark, just call 571-7528 or 265-3838. You can also look for Cookie Mommy 246 on Facebook and Instagram. And also remember, for all your loan needs, whether small business or personal loans, just give the BWU Cooperative Credit Union a call at 436-5620 or email info, that's info, at bwuccu.com.
Minding your business with the kind compliments of the Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union Limited, who remind you to save smart and borrow smarter.